Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Grijalva, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for holding this hearing and for the opportunity for me to speak on the Flushing Remonstrance Study Act, H.R. 3222. This bill directs the Secretary of the Interior to conduct a special resource study of the Flushing Remonstrance and related resources. The Flushing Remonstrance is not only an important part of my local history, but also a significant event in our nation's history. The Quakers of the mid-17th century were prohibited from practicing their religious traditions in New Netherland, which included parts of what is now New York State. In response, a group of local activists wrote the Flushing Remonstrance as a declaration against religious persecution in an attempt to allow the free practice of one's religion. On December 27, 1657, 30 English citizens stood against religious oppression and asserted the rights of Quakers and other religious minorities to practice their religion by signing the Remonstrance. It was met with great opposition from the local government, which ignored the Remonstrance's ideals and moral guidelines. One of the great proponents of free practice of religion and the Remonstrance was John Bowne. At great risk to himself, John invited Quakers to hold religious services in his home. John was arrested for doing so, fined, and then banished to his homeland of Holland. While in Holland, John Bowne appealed to the Dutch West India Company to return home. His pleas of justice were accepted. Because of Bowne's activism and strong convictions for religious freedom, the company demanded that religious persecution end in the colony. The local government agreed to the powerful Dutch West India Company, and the Quakers were allowed to practice freely. Bowne's story of personal courage should not be forgotten, and neither should the Remonstrance, which encapsulated his ideals. America was founded upon the ideals that foster a tolerant society, the same ideals that Bowne practiced himself. Bowne's home, which served as a symbol of religious freedom to so many, was converted into a museum in 1947 and was listed on the National Registry of Historic Places in 1977. I believe that the Flushing Remonstrance is historically significant and will benefit from further study, and that other associated locations, such as the Quaker Meeting House, deserve national recognition. This study could lead to the sites associated with the Flushing Remonstrance becoming a unit of the National Park System, either as a National Historic Park or a National Historic Site. The story of the Flushing Remonstrance is not for New Yorkers alone. It was an early struggle in America to establish the fundamental right to practice one's religion, a precursor to the First Amendment, which protects our religious freedom. I hope the Flushing Remonstrance Study Act will help us all remember the courage of John Bowne and the passion for religious freedom held by the authors of the Flushing Remonstrance. Again, I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.